So what are the core talent management functions, you might ask? We looked at HR and saw that there are 5 functions, personnel management, employee management, compensation benefits, performance, etc. Now, talent management has more roles than just pure HR, because again, I said this is a framework where you are aligning your business strategy, your business results with everything going inside. So talent management has to rotate around compensation and benefits, has to rotate around your grades. So I know when I joined the company, I joined as a fresh grad, I joined as a junior, then I become a senior, then a manager, then etc. Okay? And the roles and responsibilities. What are my roles and responsibilities? What am I accountable for in the company? So this, I might be given a job description, and of course the roles and responsibilities are aligned with the vision and mission and goals of the company. So talent management includes, like I said, workforce planning, sourcing, applicant tracking, when I get the applicant, onboarding, recruiting, onboarding, performance, learning, career development and planning, succession planning. How many companies do you think do succession planning? I was reading an article that in the UAE, in the financial industry, there is no clear succession planning. So if a financial manager leaves, not just in the UAE, and in other areas, I was reading the article about the UAE, when a financial manager leaves, there is no successor. So the company is in real trouble, if a key person leaves. Okay? Employee engagement. Are all your employees on board? Are they all talking the same language? Do they all follow the same culture? Okay? Do they all want you to be successful? Employee self-service. This is where we start including some automation. Remember, it's not advisable, it's not recommended to automate everything in HR, because then you would lose that personal touch with the employee. You want to maintain the personal interaction and personal communication with employees, but also you want to allow them to do some self-service actions for some administrative tasks. So if I want a vacation, I don't have to go through so many different bosses and emails to get a vacation approved. I can do it automatically. If I want a letter of recommendation or a letter of employment certificate, I do it through a system. So automate these tasks that take a lot of time and effort that can be automated, so you can focus on the more strategic tasks, like the succession planning, like the career development, etc. And also we talk about tools and offboarding and alumni relations. You might ask, why do I need to stay in touch with an employee after they leave the company? So keeping in touch, especially nowadays with the social network, you can keep in touch with these people through groups. So you create a group for the company, and those employees can stay part of the group, and you don't know. You might hire them back. They might go work somewhere else, get some more skills, and come back and work for you. So that's a win-win for you. Okay? Samir is saying that the mindset is that succession planning is like a threat to existing staff if it's not managed properly. Succession planning is a strategic action, and it's normally done for the key positions in the company. It's not recommended that you do succession planning for everybody in the company. You select your key positions depending on the size of the company, and then you put a succession plan for them. But then this should not be a threat, because what you're saying is for employee A to move up the ladder and get promoted, they need to have a potential successor that can take their place. So on the contrary, you can use succession planning as an initiative and a trigger for people to perform better and to deliver better so they can move up the ladder more and more. So you need to select the areas that best fit your current and future needs and make sure that all the functions are integrated. So I'll go back to the wheel. Make sure that you select those areas that are most applicable to you, but very importantly that they all work together. Again, this wheel, if you wish, represents the life cycle of an employee from before they get hired until they leave the company. So this life cycle needs to be all streamlined. and homogeneous and working together. Okay? You don't want to have a great recruiting function, when you're recruiting, wow, the employee is so happy that everything went smooth. But once the employee is hired, then nothing is moving in the company, everything is messed up. That's going to give you a bad reputation, and the employee is going to leave. So you want to make sure that you have the right focus in the right areas. So for you, it has to start with you as a business owner. So even before the HR manager, you need to act as a role model. So don't expect your employees to go for training and work more hours and perform better if you are not supportive and advocate of these things, okay? You need to reinforce the value of learning and development. So I see a lot of business owners engaging, for example, with their employees over brainstorming sessions. You can have like breakfast with the CEO where they gather the employees over coffee in the morning and they just chit-chat about so many different things, not necessarily work-related, but different ideas, Listen to your employees. Let them tell you their ideas because they might have excellent ideas. Build a sustainable and agile process to support development. Don't make it too rigid. Don't make it too hard for the employee to take training, for example, or to learn something new, or to experience a new skill. Okay? If you have the opportunity, give an initiative or a project to, if you find somebody in the company who is like performing very well, try to give them an initiative that's going to allow them to learn more, if you wish, and acquire new skills different than what they have. Company values. You need to have company values that are visible and applicable everywhere in the company. And if somebody has a problem, if somebody makes a mistake, don't fire them right away. Give them some time and take that as an opportunity to get some learning and development, okay? So make sure that when somebody makes a mistake, then you need to find the source. Why did they make the mistake, okay? Why did they make the mistake? Maybe they needed training in certain areas. Because you might fire the employee. If they made a mistake, you might fire the employee, and then another employee will make the same mistake. You haven't resolved the issue. Again, talent management, if you want to look at it on a practical level, it starts from all the way through the organization, from the operational employees to the functional specialists, who are the frontliners, to the experts, and all the way to the management team. Throughout this journey, if you wish, you are identifying high performers and high potentials, and you are developing them. So don't just look at developing your top management. They think the employees are getting enough training on the job. That's not correct. If you want to do, for example, a leadership training in a company, it can be done at all levels. And again, I say each level will receive the training that best fits their role and responsibility. If you want to do communication training, at all levels. But if you want to do technical training, so for example, if you want to do project management training, let's say, maybe this is where you go to your operational staff and functional specialists. Okay? Time management training at all levels. To find out the potentials of a person, there are tools and techniques, of course. There are assessments that can be done. There are personality assessments, and there are some questionnaires that you can put in place to measure, if you wish, the skills and competencies. Some companies use psychological assessments because they like to know the behavior of the employee. Because remember, technical skills can be taught. If you hire someone who needs to use Excel, but they're not very proficient in Excel, you can put them in a class and they will learn how to use Excel. But if you hire someone who is maybe stubborn and not flexible, that's very hard to teach. So you need to find out ahead of time if that person has certain behavioral aspects that do not fit your organization, okay? And this can be done through psychological and personality assessments. Another case study about the Marriott. The Marriott, a huge hotel, and they have different types of employees. Imagine how many types of employees they have in a hotel. from reception to cashiers to reservations to housekeeping to restaurants, etc. What they did is they took some time and they developed a training program based on the roles that they have within the organization. Okay? And this is to say that you cannot put just one learning and development program for all. It has to be tailored based on the roles. You cannot expect an accountant to take the same training as a technical engineer, the same training as a CFO, etc. Okay? Each one has to take the training that they can absorb, that they can really practice and be able to really utilize. Okay? And again, do not give theoretical training to your employees because that's not going to take you anywhere. Always try to look for practical and pragmatic programs where they can apply what they learned on the job.